is NewsBreak26 in southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Here's what's happening in our part of the world. New Brunswickers age 50 and older, as well as First Nation individuals aged 18 and older, will soon be eligible to book a fourth dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. Participating pharmacies are preparing to administer second doses of booster shots starting April 19th. Pharmacist and president of the New Brunswick Pharmacists Association, Andrew Drover, says his pharmacy in Moncton, Harrisville Pharmacy, is already getting many phone calls from customers hoping to book appointments.
So we have definitely had calls. The calls for a vaccine started on Friday afternoon when the announcement was made. So the calls started basically right away. They did continue throughout the weekend and even into today. So there's a lot of interest in getting a fourth dose of the COVID vaccine.
In order to be eligible for a booster shot, at least 5 months need to have passed since your last dose. And if you've contracted COVID-19 recently, at least 3 months will need to have passed since you tested positive, regardless of how long it's been since your last dose.
So if you are getting a third or a fourth dose, and you've had COVID since your previous dose, the recommendation is to wait at least 90 days from your previous dose to the next dose. The reason for this is there will be antibodies. You will have antibodies in your system from COVID, and that could actually interfere with the effectiveness of the vaccine. So that's where the recommendation comes from. People can choose to get the vaccine before that 3-month period is over. We usually do that. We would do that with informed consent.
Drover says getting a fourth shot is advisable for people over 50 to better protect them from the virus.
We know that after 6 months, between 6 and 8 months, the immunity starts to wane. So it's advisable so that there's a little bit of overlap there between the two. After 5 months, they can get an additional dose so that there's no gap in their vaccination status.
A list of pharmacies providing COVID-19 vaccines can be found on the Government of New Brunswick's website. As of Monday, vulnerable New Brunswickers who've contracted COVID-19 can now get prescriptions from their primary caregiver for the antiviral treatment Paxlovid.
I do have Paxlovid here on hand in case I do get a prescription. So yes, up until this week, Paxlovid had to be prescribed by specific prescribers, and it was dispensed by very specific pharmacies. What has happened now is that most family physicians can prescribe it, and every pharmacy can dispense it.
Paxlovid comes in pill form and is designed to be taken by adults twice daily in the early days of infection for 5 days. The medication helps reduce symptoms as well as the length of time a person is sick. It also significantly reduces a vulnerable person's chances of being hospitalized or dying from the virus. Due to potential interactions with other medications, not everyone who is considered vulnerable is eligible for this treatment. Before this week, just over 300 New Brunswickers had been treated for COVID-19 with Paxlovid, but Public Health is projecting an uptick now that the medication is more accessible, with prescriptions being fillable at most pharmacies. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, follow us on Facebook at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.